What's going on, fellow humans and resellers? It is I, James, redemptionagency.com, 22 years selling full-time on eBay, almost 3 months selling a little bit-ish on Poshmarkish. And today, or yesterday, I did it. I pulled the trigger, and it cost me $68,000. But we'll get into that. But first, yesterday's sales on eBay was, looking at what I'm shipping here, was almost like what I like to have like on eBay, what my perfect days used to be like. If it wasn't for that shutdown the night before, as well as last night, I think the results would have been even better. And no, I'm not taking $1.50 for a cassette. That's not gonna happen. I will go down to $3.50, but that's as low as I go. But so let's see here. The Seller Hub. Because, yeah, I got a nice array of things, some decent dollar stuff. So it looked like it was kind of clicking yesterday. But still, I'm at 16 down compared to last month. I was headed up until that big meltdown after that update, where I ended up having a $180 day. So yesterday ended with $710. And I noticed something weird when it came to the organic and promoted split. Someone checked to see how it ended. Because for most of the day, up until at least 5-ish, I was selling a lot more organic than promoted. So maybe that's why it got caught up last night. So we'll see. This morning we're at $8.45. I'm at $57. It was definitely a 9-hour window shut down again last night. 9 hours where nothing came through. So, like I said, it feels like they're shutting down the site every night and working on it. I think in the last 30 days there was one night where I had consistent sales all the way through the night in the last 30 days. And that was it. And if you don't know, that's usually a norm for me. Or used to be anyway. So let's see. Oh, yep, that must have been the little push at the end. So 36 items sold yesterday, still low, but I had some decent dollars on some of my decent dollar stuff sell. 15 or 16 organic, 20 promoted. I was pushing 15 organic and like 8 promoted. For it's like that was the difference between most of the day. It was a bigger gap, so it caught up last night. Like this morning, we got 4 sold, 3 organic, 1 promoted. And those numbers are still going in the green. Before I was saying that just my external site views were the only thing up. So promoted impressions is up 2%. The top 20 search impressions is up 10%. The rest of search slot impressions up 7%. The non-search impressions down 5%. So boom. Page views up 0.4%. 0.4. So, but the numbers that matter are down, but at least this is some positive happenings that was not before. I mean, everything was just in the toilet. So that's good to see. So hopefully something's building in the positive direction anyway. That would be nice. That would be nice. I slept bad last night. So, like when I do things other than what I'm supposed to do during the day, I mentally drain myself because I'm like, I should be at home working, getting things done. And the longer I'm out, the more drained I become. Like, well, I was at 6:30 last night. I was ready to go to bed. So I got nothing done yesterday other than the day costing me 68 grand. But that's all right. At least I got my Porsche back. All right, let's get into some questions and comments, and then we'll get the stuff shipped, and then we'll get into what I did yesterday. All right. I was getting payment automatically after expecting offers. Now they're all saying waiting for payment. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on there exactly. I lost it when I read the first comment, James. Why are people so miserable and mean? And why do some people feel like because they are doing it one way, you have to do it that way? Either way, James, I love your store, the type of items you sell, and the way you sell them. I appreciate it. And I think what's being commented on here is the calling me a Dollar General, which I took as a complaint, but they were trying to use it as a negative. And my main point was you can't discount something that's worked for 22 years when there's something clearly than a market change happening. And that is the eBay website changes and upgrades and technical issues. So you can't discount it when you don't have the proper feedback to gauge if it's still viable. I believe it still is. I mean, nobody's going to stop buying, especially in a lower economy. People are going to buy cheaper stuff anyway. So I think right now, the deeper we get into this economy going down, and now another, who knows what's going on with the Middle East again. Didn't Trump squash all the Middle East? And now here we go again. I hate politicians. I don't care if you love or hate Trump. I don't care. It's not about it. It's about a business person. To me, it's about a business person. A business person the world and the United States is an economy. And talking to you guys, you probably understand this more than anybody, just random people watching would understand this, because you're running a business. Entrepreneurs think differently than politicians. Politicians, when you're running a business, you're trying to do the best for your business. So if you have a business person looking at the country as their business, they're going to do what's best for business. And the whole world, the economy is a business. China gets it. They do it wrongly, in my opinion, with the way they treat people, but they treat it as a business. That's why they're going to be taking over the world if something doesn't shift. And we go deeper and deeper in debt. So you can't keep borrowing money on future generations and doing nothing about it. So where was I going with this? Crap. I hate when that happens. Oh, the wars and the economy going down. Duh. But I think as it gets deeper and more chaotic, people are going to be definitely switching, even more people will be switching over to lower dollar items in a place like eBay. So, and I believe if it wasn't for the sites right now, I believe we'd all be doing like wonderful numbers, like unbelievable numbers. I do believe that. Because like I've said many times, people still want to treat themselves for all the hard work they put in. And when you have to pay a lot more for groceries, but you still want to treat yourself, instead of buying a $300 purse, you're going to go find a $25 purse or whatever the case may be. Or you start collecting something new, cheap, like postcards, or something to keep your mind going. The human nature is funny like that. We've got to have like an addiction to something, or a collection, something to kind of take our mind off the everyday grind. And I think that's why one of the reasons why the human psyche is such an addictive prone creature is because it's like an escape, almost like a drug, or addicted to alcohol, addicted to collecting, you know. Well, I work very hard. I can't afford nothing, so you take pride in the little things. I've always took pride in little things all my life because I didn't have money. So, I mean, I collected rocks. They were free, and it was cool to find, and, you know. So, you just think people who work hard might be collecting postcards or CDs or building up their DVD collection or whatever the case may be. So, I think right now we should be doing better than ever if it was not for all the changes and issues happening. So, good ideas you have for eBay. I feel your pain on high-end items. I sold a mink cowboy hat retail $2,500 for $1,500 and sweating bullets until I got positive feedbacks and 30 days passed. eBay seems unforgiving when things go sideways. Just selling higher dollar things just opens yourself up more to the potential of being scammed, you know. James, your conclusions are correct. eBay became disenchanted 10 years ago with being the Dollar General store of online selling and lost their collective mind trying to become Amazon. They lost their spot in the marketplace by taking their eye off the ball and trying to become something else. They abandoned those of us who literally took them to the prom years ago. True. I feel that. How can they possibly expect us to believe them when the data is very clear? Sales are controlled no matter how you explain it. It has nothing to do with the free market anymore. If your items were crap, you would never have amazing sales one day and Zippo another. And that's the thing. When you have a $900 day followed by a $180 day, that's not the market. Yesterday was 7 something. If today flattens out, that's not the market. And by flatten out, I mean like a $300 day or less. You now are due for a bigger house and garage. You never miss. Too many trolls. You have a viable business. As you well know, so many people are looking for excitement of the big score, cheap thrill. And everybody lives, I'd live for that, but like I've said many times, you got to have a good foundation if you want a solid business. If you're just a reseller hustle, and that's your gig, do it. Go for it, you know. But you're going to have, on your down days or your down week when you can't find anything and you can't score, guess what? You have no money coming in or barely any money coming in. Where mine, I can take off for a week and still have the same average money coming in every day. So that's the beauty of building a foundation. Yeah, bring back Turbo Lister. I miss TL. Yeah, I used the hell out of Turbo Lister back in the day. My impressions and my page views went down 50% overnight. What would cause that to happen? You know what? With what I promote, I used to do 2 million plus page impressions. Now I'm lucky if I get 1 million. So mine over time has fell in half. So, but what that contributes to, you know, a lot of different, as I've said too many times, a lot of different variables. And dollar stores suck. They don't pay enough and people don't want to work. And the place is full of boxes and boxes. You can't walk through it. There was the Dollar General by our house. The couple of times I went in there, the lady was pretty happy to be there. So, but I know what you mean though. Most of the time, I haven't been in there in a couple of years though. So. Congratulations, is this Jan's new ride? It is. Somebody called me a rock star whatever, what's his name? Rockstar Flipper. Called me Rockstar Flipper 2.0 or something because I got a car. Clearly the person doesn't understand basic economics. But anyway, that is my $68,000 hit yesterday. So Jan, to start out, we'll get to shipping and get into story, but to get you up to speed, I bought Jan a Volvo XC40, I believe it was, 2 years ago. She started working with CVS and became a floater pharmacist. So she was going to be driving 2 hours to work here and there, going to we're in St. Louis, so going to Champaign, Illinois, going to Springfield, Illinois. She's gone to Cape Girardeau. So she was a traveling pharmacist, basically. And we had, her car at the time was a Scat Pack Dodge Challenger, 6.4 Hemi. Wah, wah, wah. That was our vroom vroom mobile. And since she started driving that, she needed something, she's blind in one eye, and she'd be working, coming home at night in the snow, things like that. I had to go, she wanted me to find her a car. So I found her the Volvo, which was a nice smooth ride, nice easy turn of the wheel, very nice ride. So in the 2 years, she put about 43,000 miles on it. So now she's got a local spot now, a main spot. And she works 60 hours a week. So also too. So I got a wife who works 60 hours a week as a pharmacist also. So you got to take that into play too. And so in this Volvo, the first side swipe was she was going down 270 and somebody wasn't paying attention on their phone, sideswiped her right side and took off. Probably a week after, she's in a double turn lane right here, and this person just comes over, sideswipes her, messes up her mirror, scrapes up the car a little bit, takes off. Then, I guess 2 weeks or so ago, Adrian goes to get us dinner on a two-thing turn. Car comes over, takes the mirror completely off. Well, most of the mirror completely off. It became a magnet, it seemed, for stupid drivers. So I've been driving her car since she's blind and she needs all the safety options, and she's been driving my Porsche. So I've been on the lookout for a new ride, and she's been looking, going through things. And to get all the bells and whistles on where she kind of wanted was like a Mercedes or a Beamer or Lexus or something like that. To get everything, all the bells and whistles, you're pushing like $100,000, if not more, on like a Mercedes and stuff. So I've always had my eye on Jeep and American brands because you can get all the bells and whistles for cheaper costs. So I've been having my eye on this Summit, Jeep Grand Cherokee Summit 2023. And it's 5.7. So it's not the 6.4 Hemi, but it's a 5.7. So it's a step down. But it's the highest you can get in the Summit, the luxury. Summit is Jeep Grand Cherokee, and then there's other little parts like Limited and 4x4 and things like that. But then when you get into the upper ones, you got Overland, which is kind of plush. The one above that is the Summit, which is like all the bells and whistles. And the only ones above that is like SRT and Trackhawk. And those are performance-based, not necessarily comfort-based, even though they are a comfort car, a nice car to drive. They don't have all the bells and whistles. They're more for speed and stuff. So we've had the SRT8s before. So I had my eye on this, and they had it it's an originally $80,000 car. They had it at like 76. So in my head, I'm playing back and forth. Well, if I can get them down to 73, 72, I'm like, I can make that happen. Because I wanted to keep the car payment about the same as the Volvo. And the fact that the business has treated us so good and she's been working tons of overtime, we got a little bit of money that we can put a down payment down. I never had money to put a down payment down before, over like $5,000. So I have 20 grand to play with to find the perfect balance of the monthly payment I wanted. And it's going to be harder too with interest rates up, because I'm not paying no 7-8% interest rate. I'm just not going to do it. I won't get a car if that's the case. And so she checked with USAA, which is our insurance and our credit card and stuff, and we were going to be able to get a 5.9 through them. So we're like, all right, we can deal with that for now. We can always, she's at the age now where she can take from her 401k and it's not penalized, just it's taken as income. She's like, well, if anything ever happens, we can just pay it off. So she was under the same mindset, but I still wanted to keep the payment low. So yesterday, after I made the video, I went upstairs and I had the page open on my computer of the car. I refreshed it and the number dropped like $8,000. And I was like, okay, because it was at 76 and now it's sitting there at 68. I'm like, okay. So I called up Amanda, who is the person I've been working with out there. I'm like, because she had told me the manager there ordered and bought a Summit 5.7 for his wife because they're a great value right now. 2023 is coming the end of the year. Nobody's meeting their quotas in the car world, so you can get good deals. So he actually bought one. So I called him and goes, is this the one? Because I couldn't remember because we looked at a few different ones. I'm like, is this 5.7 the one we looked at? Or is this the one that the manager took for his wife? So she went and checked and called back and everything. She's like, yeah, this is it, 5.7. I'm like, I'm on my way. I'm going to get it. So jetted out there, test drove it, rides smooth, nice. I mean, you got the big screen, you got the extra screen for the passenger that they can play video games on or enter into the GPS or watch movies on. Massage seats, obviously heated and cooled seats, heated steering wheel. It got cameras all around that damn thing. You can flip up the mirror and you see the camera view of what's behind you. Flip it down, you got the mirror view. You can turn on the camera view of the front, the back, the sides, and all around where it's showing the top of the car and everything around you. I'm like, this is pretty cool. So it's got like all the cool bells and whistles and stuff. So I'm having fun with it. So it'd be a nice ride to take on vacation. But I got my car back now. So I might just go get it cleaned today because I'm sure it's probably a mess since I haven't cleaned it in a while and she's had it for a month now. So, but yeah, so I went in and they were like, well, you don't qualify for the military and this and that, so your number's not going to be 68, but we'll work you a hell of a deal, right? Because it's the end of the month, or not the end of the month, but they haven't met, and now we're close to their quotas, end of the year, close out on those cars. So got it for 68, put 20K down. I walked in there, I talked to the manager, and he goes, my credit score is perfect, 850. Well, they ran it was 849. So I was like, one down, where'd that go? But made a joke about that. But he's like, oh, but we'll get you better than that. You're an A plus, or whatever on the credit stuff. So I walked into the guy's office and he goes, all right, 7.25. I'm like, no. I'm like, I'm like, they manager said you were going to be looking up some other rates and get me a better rate than that. He goes, well, I can't pull it from underneath my desk. I took that the wrong way. I'm like, never mind, and I'm outie. And I started walking out. I'm getting on the phone because I knew USAA. I could just, they would fax a check. I don't know, do they still fax or they probably email a check? Email a check over to them if they had to, and I could just get it through their rates. But they came out and they go, oh, sorry, miscommunication, blah, blah, we can do the 5.9. I'm like, yeah, you can. So I got the car. And the monthly payment's only $50 more than the Volvo. So Jan's happy. She's got a new car. She's got all the safety bells and whistles. that she could need to keep her safe, and got a new ride to take on vacation. Yeah. So that's what I did yesterday. So, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to be in that position, to be able to do that. I mean, I've been blessed with some pretty cool ass cars for the business and what have you. But like I said before, we haven't been sitting so good because we haven't had no bad issues come our way in a while. She's been working her butt off. I've been trying to work my butt off. Plus also with the business not having any debt. You know, for people who have to spend $1,000, $2,000 a month on inventory to make money, I don't have to spend that. I might go out and spend $100 here at the bins, or go over to the thrift store and spend $100 whenever I choose to. So, you know, if you look at it that way, my car payments alone are less than what other people may be spending on inventory every month. So, one of the beauties of putting myself through the pain I did for the first 15 years of the business, 15 plus years of the business. So, by taking on all that debt to get all this inventory. So, worked hard to get in the spot I am at. So I worked hard for that 850 credit score. I worked hard to be able to, and Jen has too, worked hard. She gets mad because her credit score is not as perfect as much. She usually hits around 830, 835 or something. And what's weird is like all the cars are in my name. You know, obviously the house is in part, you know, half my name, half her name. So I have more debt to my name with less income than her, but yet my credit score is higher. So figure that one out. So it's kind of funny. But anyway, let's get to moving. Let's get this stuff. Oh, did I forget to pull that one? I guess I did. Or let me refresh. Maybe it was already done. No. I forgot to pull that one. Did I get that one? I pulled some of this last night, so I'm kind of going to make sure I got everything pulled here. I got the one I didn't yet. And that's not pulled, and that's not pulled. And I got blanked on Poshmark yesterday. So second day of the month where I got blanked on Posh. But I forgot to turn on my sharer. So I only got half the shares I normally get. So that could have attributed to it. Combine orders. All right. International to Canada. Canada's good to see. Canada site yesterday, and the Canadian order today. So that's good. And another Canada. There we go. Canada's coming back into the picture. I wondered where they went. I used to do so good on Canada. Or just sending stuff to Canada, period. So it's good to see them back the last couple of days. All right, let me move some of this stuff. See what we got. All right, first up we got Needle Treasures. Jan picked this up at Ben's. She loves picking up this stuff. So, sold for $15. Headed to Illinois. So there we go. I don't have my big ones. They're not going to fit in here. I have to put in a double. Oh, maybe. That's a little too. Let me grab a bigger bubble mailer. I still have that new car smell stuck in my nose. This even got cameras inside the freaking car, like family cam it's called. So you could see the people in the second row and the third row of the car. I made a joke. Well, it's not really a joke. It's like, well, I got enough car now for friends to go on trips. Now I just need to find some friends. Everybody's the ones who work have gone pretty much their own way. You know, they're busy, I'm busy. 18 by 14. The ones who don't work burned their bridges with me 3 years ago. When I took them on the guy trip and paid for everything to the Smoky Mountains. And I had one rule. One rule. And these are people I've known most of my life. One of them all my life. One rule. Don't bring nothing illegal. Don't bring no drugs that you don't have prescriptions for. Don't bring no guns if you can't cross the state line. Don't have a permit to cross state line, whatever, you know. Don't bring nothing illegal. Pretty simple rules. Of course, the drug rule was broken. Not just the light drug that's more acceptable nowadays, but from what I'm told, the harder stuff, which you put all of us in jeopardy since I drove. I rented a car. We drove. I paid for everything, basically. And you're going to do me like that? I don't care if I've known you my whole life. You clearly have zero respect for me or anybody else that went on the trip. So, see you later. Or actually, won't see you later. I'm done with you. Gave you too many chances as it is. I've got to wipe my hands and move on. You don't put me in that kind of position. You know, I got out of bad situations because I never put myself in those situations. So for you to put me in that situation and everybody else, no. Jamesy, don't play that. So, had to move on from two of them. Another friend, he moved to Cape, so he's never around, down the Cape area. Anyway. Actually, I think it's a little farther than Cape. And another one who went on the trip, who I'm still friends with, but he works in healthcare, he works in the hospitals, so he's always busy. So, I haven't really hung out with anybody I think I may have hung out with two of them on one occasion apiece since the trip. So I probably hung out with friends 2 times in the past 3 years. That's pretty sad. We'll say 4 times just in case I'm not remembering something, but that's still sad. Pretty sad, James. Pretty sad. All right, next up was something out of my personal collection. So as I've said before, my personal stuff, for the majority of it, I put it in my store under a category of my personal stuff. So it doesn't get promoted, doesn't go on sale. It's just overpriced stuff. If somebody wants it more than me, they can buy it. Somebody wanted these more than me, and they've sold. They were overpriced, so I'm guessing there's none up on eBay cheaper now. So in 1994, I went to, I believe, Camelot Music and purchased these. If you're a Motley Crue fan, you will remember Motley Brew. It was a drink they put out in about 94, 95. And it's a blue liquid that leaves your mouth blue. I never tasted it or tried it. Paid $2.49 for 2 different bottles. Kept them unopened ever since. Sold them both together for $100. So, biggity bam. I don't like shipping this stuff. I was hoping nobody'd ever buy them. Now they're gone out of my collection. But luckily, Alex brought home tons of bubble wrap from his job. Or he got bubble wrap somewhere. I think it was at the pharmacy. So it's the big bubble stuff too. So I can really pack these puppies up. But first, I'm going to put them in a bag of some sort. So if they do happen to burst, I'll get bubble mailers. At least it'll be extra padding. Because I'm going to bubble wrap the crap out of these. Because I think it's going to California. Yeah, North Hollywood, California. So we're going to... We're going to try to overkill these puppies. Now that we got her new car, I am going to start working on my next car. For me, it will probably be, depending on how long it takes me to, we can build that 20 back up and what have you. But I would like, but the further I get away from it, the lesser of chance of getting one, and that's a Trackhawk. They stopped making them, 19, I think? 2019, or was it 2018 even? I remember. So as the time goes on, miles go up on them, and I won't buy a car over 30,000 miles. So the further I get away from them, probably the lesser chance of me ever owning one. So then I'll have to switch to something else. But I don't know what that would be. Of course, the ultimate for me would be that Lamborghini, but they have come down in price, but nowhere near anything I can afford. So I'd have to get real lucky or work a hell of a lot more hours in a day than I do in order to get that. So, or start being a lot smarter with the way I work. I'm going to go with a bigger box than that, just in case. Can't be too safe. This should work. So, we got paper in here. Let's wrap these puppies up even more. Should I do a drop test? No. Baby girl, what you doing? This was I'm worried about vacation because Adrian took half days the whole vacation. So I like to be home in the mornings and then he gets off at noon. So there's always going to be somebody here with her, but she's never been without me here, without another dog here. So it's on me to entertain her or to, make sure she's always busy, or where before she could go play with, or if Vern would start barking at something, it'd get her attention and she'd start in. So she was always had something going on. And now it's like she has nothing going on unless I make sure I am interacting with her. So, and the boys don't really interact too much, so I've got to make sure that they do. You've got to really give her a lot of attention. She's not going to understand. Even when I go to the post office, come back, she's like happier than I've ever seen her before. So she's just not used to being by herself. I feel safe there. $16 by $13 by $7. 16, 13, 7, 4, 0. Yeah, that's at least the good thing about ground. I expected that thing to go like near $20, $11.49 to North Hollywood. I can handle that. And that's Tony. You hear bloop, 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 bloop. All right. Andres Calamaro CD. Headed to New York, sold for $7. All right, you guys scoot over now. For Fabio. Fabio. That's Fabio. Yay. All right. Stay out of my way. I Why can't I get to that one pretty quick? I'm just going to jump down here and do this one so it's in my way. I got a Ralph Lauren kids puffer jacket. I think I found this at a Ben's, didn't I? I think so. Sold for $42. Headed to Maryland. Yeah, because I was shocked I found it. Because it was, like, I usually find my clothes later because I go for other stuff first. Then I go through the clothes. So I was kind of shocked I found this. Pretty sure it was Ben's. I've been shocked pretty lately. Last couple of times I went to the Ben's on some of the stuff I got. Later, as I was, wrapping up. I don't like when that happens. Pain in the booty hole. Pain in the booty hole. Right, baby girl. Pain in the booty hole. So yesterday was a prime example why I usually need several days before I leave on vacation to wind down, because I have to change my thinking. Like, if I don't, I'm thinking I need to be working, I need to do this, I need to get this done. And then if I'm not doing it, I get totally drained. So that's why I take a few days to just say, I don't have to do nothing. I don't have to do nothing. I don't have to do nothing. And then I do other things that I would normally not do. And then that gets me into that mindset just to chill. So I'm kind of glad yesterday happened, because it reminded me to make sure I take that downtime before leaving. Like, I got to find my Chromebook, which I don't know where I would have let. It's in my office somewhere, I think. So I can get that all set up with everything I need, business-wise, so I can check emails. And if I have to do any refunds or anything, so get that all set up. Make sure all my sign-ins are there, everything I can sign into. We got these women's restricted brand boots. These sold for $15. Headed to Westmont, Illinois. Diane. Next up, we've got New Kids on the Block, Merry Christmas cassette. That sold for $5. Headed to San Diego, California. San Diego. Before I forget, please like this video while you're here. I'm trying to remember that more often. And don't forget, if you need bubble mailers or poly bags, my Giro link's below. Save 10%. I ordered mine and forgot to put in my own damn 10% code. Can you believe that? I could have saved myself $30, but no. James forgot. Another Jan find. We got these ornaments here. Great. This is a disaster waiting to happen. These sold for $13, headed to Louisiana. These sounds like they could break. They're vintage. What to do? What to do? What a pain it is. Do I put each one in one of these? Do I put 2 in a pack? I'm trying to think outside the box here real quick. Do I have any paper stuffing? No. And I got another one of these boxes. Ba, ba, ba. Trying to think of a quick way, but safe way. So I'm not like wrapping each one individually or anything like that. So what we could do is so they don't hit together. Oh, that felt safe. This is why I prefer, instead of using bubble wrap, just using bubble mailers. A lot more convenient, quicker, a lot more controlled when it comes to cost. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. Let me double click the picture, make sure I got the right bag. I'd hate to do all this work and be like, whoops, got the wrong ones. Got the right ones. We got the right one, baby. Oh, sorry, that's the right stuff. We got the right stuff, baby. James was singing New Kids on the Block. As they would have said back in my day, that's so gay. Please don't cancel me. That was not meant in any derogatory term, way, analogy. Free speech again, please. Free speech. When it's not hateful, it's comedy relief. Comedy relief. Because if you try to cancel comedy, then you technically have canceled human nature. And we are nothing but robots if we cannot laugh at ourselves. Da, da, da. I think it's kind of funny where I used to joke growing up that I was a lesbian trapped in a male's body. And now if I said it today, people would take it seriously. They'd be like, oh, I understand. No, you don't. I'm joking. Why do you think I date women? Because I'm a lesbian trapped in a male's body. Duh. right. I know I put a bubble thing down here, didn't I? There it is. Boom. Nice and secure. Snug as a bug in a rug. Hey, Sylvester. 1296. Nice. I charged them $9 for shipping, cost $6.22. And my time to do it. I think that was a fair trade-off. That one worked for me. Okay. Next up, we got Pretty Little Liar t-shirt. Headed to South Houston, Texas. Texas. Sold for $9.50. $9.50. I should be going live today if nothing comes up. So please subscribe to my live feed lounge channel if you'd like to join us over there. I usually only get like 5 to 10 people. The one day I got 20. So has he been in the shower this whole time, Alex? What you doing in there, Alex? All right. Next up, we've got these. I picked these up over at the bins also last time I was there. Hooters pants. So Hooters employee pants. Those sold for $21, headed to Massachusetts. I think these were in a throwback area. Some kids threw them back, if I remember correctly. I always go through everybody's throwback areas in the corners, because sometimes they're just, really picky, and I'm not as much. And I find things like that. A nice little $21 bill. Tyler. Next up, 3-penny needle CD. Headed to Arizona, sold for $4.20. Work it. $3.92, $3.90 ground. All right. Danielson. Next up, we've got just pretty decent late night. Hopefully today rebounds. We got a nicely faded distressed Mizzou hat. Like a little. I love finding the distressed stuff. Staying in the area, headed over to Webster Groves, sold for $9.50. Ta-da, John. Next up, we got the coat already. And then we got, are you ready for a cassette life? When's the last time I did that? We've got Radio Yesteryear Christmas cassette and Songs of Christmas from Radio City Music Hall. Head to New Hampshire. Sold for $6, $7, $8, $9, $10. Had to add that puppy up. Oh, stop yawning, James. Oh. Ooh, ground is 424 to New Hampshire. Ain't doing that one. Frank. Wonder if anybody's ever told Frank to be Frank. Be Frank, Frank. Next up, we've got Radio Noise CD. Headed to New Jersey, sold for $14, even with a $1.88 sticker stuck to it. I took a picture of it, even with a 20-cent sticker on the back. When they got these many stickers, I don't waste my time. If somebody really wants it, they're going to buy it. And that just shows you $14. When chances are they know I paid 20 cents for it. Which is what I paid for it. Because that's my price tag. When I used to price my items, when I processed them, so I knew what my cost was when it's sold, because that's how I used to keep track. Before I started getting smarter and go, hey, I don't need an individual breakdown. Alex. I don't need it. The essence of Christmas. And that could use a little cleaning. Headed to Bloomington, Minnesota, sold for $7. Do not seal, James. You need to clean it. Ready? Joanne. Next up, we've found a bunch of these different ones a bunch of these plus different ones over at the bins years ago. Palms. They were a bunch of Las Vegas casino-related hats. But I guess they never made it to them or something, or the company who did it, they were sample. Some of them had sample tags on them and stuff, so. But sold for $10.50. Headed to Las Vegas. Like a club called D, I think it was. And they were all basically new too. So. We got 7. Oh, I don't need to change anything there. Going to Royce. What a name, Royce. Next up on the U.S. side, we've got Ohio State long sleeve t-shirt. So for $8, headed to Youngstown, Ohio. I gotta go to the pet store, get dog food and treats. Anthony. Let's see. Well, all right. Pay and confirm. So I'll let you go since we're over an hour. After I show you what these last two items are and where we're standing money-wise, and then I'll let you go, and I'll get these done and get to the post office after I get my printout here. Will we have a record today? with the spinning wheel of death. And I would just like to put in the captions, I am a reseller wearing a Tesla t-shirt who actually knows the band and enjoys the band. And it's actually number 2 on my favorite bands of all time. Just want to put that note out there. I'm not faking it. I saw a thumbnail the other day. I'm like, they don't even know who Tesla is. They're just trying to be hip. So I just wanted to put that little caption out there. I know who Tesla is. Let's see. Boom. Let's go, yo. I guess it depends on where I put my hands too, so I need to pay attention to that. It can't be like, oh, we got a record. Yeah. Not even close. Not even close, you say? Not even close. Anthony. Okay, name for Anthony. Do I know an Anthony? My first job I worked with an Anthony. I think that's the only Anthony I can remember. Royce. Never knew anybody named Royce. Cool name, though. Besides a car. Oh, don't step on that, James. Scrunch up this off. Joanne. One of Jan's friends when I first met her. She was a pharmacist. She married a baker at a grocery store and made him sign a prenup. I got some stories with some names. I'm telling you, I do. This could be a whole video within itself, a name story. 52 years on the planet, and what stories do you have with each name? Alex, well, that's my stepson. Went to school with an Alex. Frank. I know no Frank. First thing that pops in the head is Nikki Sixx's real name from Motley Crue. Evelyn. I know no Evelyn. And did I screw up again? I don't remember writing Evelyn. And the next one here is not Evelyn. Oh, there it is. It's on a box underneath there. Okay, never mind. Let me make sure I got it right, though. Oh, they were already turned over. What'd you buy, Evelyn? The polo jacket. Yeah, that's why you're out of order. That makes sense. All right, we got, I'm not making this up. We got John Hancock. I don't think I need to make up a story on that name. I think history tells it all. Daniel? Daniel, no, don't remember no Daniels. Tyler? Tyler was our neighbor. He still is, technically, I guess. His parents are. He joined the Air Force, or it was the Marines, but he's become an Air Force pilot. He's flies jet fighters now. And he was on to a good hockey career. He could play some hockey. He played for, I think, he turned down the Junior Blues. So, and went into the military. And now he's flying fighter jets. And I don't know if he's going to go into commercial after the fact, but he's flown like little planes and stuff too. So that was like his learning was on little planes and stuff, obviously, I guess. Emily, that is a friend of Jan's, who is a pharmacist, who ended up adopting 2 greyhounds after we adopt our greyhounds because she liked them. And she actually has to do dialysis on a weekly basis because of some bad organs. I don't remember the details, but that would suck. Stacy. Oh my God. Psycho Stacy. I dated a psycho girl named Stacy who, when I tried to break up with her, she wouldn't let me. I had to stop coming home and stay at a friend's house for 2 weeks to make her go away. Then when I finally did start coming home, I'd come outside in the morning and my car would have FU written all over it in lipstick, have a broken window, would have a broken tail light, would have a broken headlight. Yeah, psycho. The last time I actually had a physical interaction with her, I want my stuff from your house. I'm coming to get it. I'm like, no, I'll bring it to you. So I put all her stuff in a bag, started driving. I had to pass a 7-Eleven to get to her house, and I noticed a cop there. So I pulled over and said, hey, look, here's the situation. There's this psycho chick I'm trying to get away from. I got a bag of her junk that she wants me to drop off. Can you please escort me? He escorted me to the house, gave her the stuff. I left. Blew up my phone, left all these messages. How dare you bring a cop to the house? Cuckoo. Jason was a cousin my age who passed away a few years ago from cancer. That sucked. Diane. An old friend who used to work at CD Warehouse, who now lives in Florida. Or is she Diana? Either way, still the same. Fabio. We don't need to go there with that name. Anybody of my age or around my age knows that name. Tony. We knew this guy, Tony, growing up. When he was learning to drive, we used to make fun of him because he'd believe whatever we told him. So he believed he had to stop at flashing yellow lights. Because here in the city, flashing, like I don't know if it does it. I haven't been out past 2 a.m. in a long time. But after like 2 a.m., they would flash. So they'd either flash red where you'd have to stop, or they'd flash yellow just to be caution to go through. And he always, we told him he had to stop at yellow flashing lights. And that stop signs with borders are optional. And next up, Christy. Kind of saw a girl named Christy once. It was more of a rebound thing. Watched a movie with her once, played video games with her once, and that was it. There we go. That's my name stories for the day. Woohoo! I should make a series out of that. Make a channel based on name stories. That'd be funny. All right. Next up, these two, and then I'll let you go. Let's see what we got here. Hey, James, how far down did you go? Unknown letter T hat. I had no idea what that was, but it was on a nice older New Era hat. That sold for $8. And then we got these World War II in this like leatherish bound case. That sold for $10. So there we go. That. See where we are money wise. We're at 10 a.m. I prefer to be at $2.50 at 10 a.m., but we're only at $83. $83. So anyway, thanks everybody for coming along with me today. Please like, subscribe, and all that jive. Check out all my other channels. I'd appreciate it, and I will see you all in the next video. Later.